Hello all, very good morning. I, Jayant Upluri, Chairman SICASA for Vijayawada branch of SARC. So I welcome all of you for this conference, students meeting. So we'll start our meeting with our motto song. So you need not stand, just place your right hand on your heart as a matter of respect.
Yaesha supteshu jagrati Yaesha supteshu jagrati Kamam 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 Purusho nirvimanaha Tadeva shudram Tada Brahma Tadeva mritamucchade Tasmin lokaha shataha Sarve tadunatyadi kaschan Etadvaita
Thank you all. Now I request CA Gaddam Sridhar Madam to give her opening remarks for the session. Please, Madam, over to you.
Respected Chief Guest of the Day, Central Council Member, CM Sridhar sir, and today's speakers, CAG Krishna and colleagues in the Management Committee, and my dear students, a very good morning to one and all. So first of all, I would like to thank Sridhar Garu for accepting our invitation in spite of your busy schedule to address our students. Thank you so much, sir. And I would also like to appreciate our Chairman SICASA, you Jayant sir, for choosing excellent topic, how to face the CA exams, which is very apt for the students as the exams are approaching. Particularly focusing on the particular issues like time management and presentation skills is so good because which are very important for getting success in the CA exam. Even myself, I'll explain two examples in my life for CA preparation. First of all, when I attempted a CA final costing exam, and out of 3 hours, I attempted for 2 hours and for 40 marks only. And I afraid that I will fail definitely. So I left out of the hall. Left out of the halls. Then I got 37 out of 40 marks. See, in this, I failed in 2 issues. One is I would have attempted for another hour, so yeah, I might have passed in the exam. Second thing, I might have prepared more in time management before going to exams. So in these 2 aspects, I failed. So my preparation is good, but my practice in time management is I failed in that. Second example, when I attempted CA final taxation exam, I could not able to clear in the first attempt. Then I approached my friend who has cleared. He posed me some very tough questions to me. I answered all the questions. Then he said, how you are presenting these questions in the exam? I explained to him. Then he said, you're failing in the presentation. So your preparation is good, your presentation is not good, so you are failing in that. So what I mean to say is preparation is important, but in the same way, presentation, time management, these issues are very important for getting success in the CA exams. So, and my today's speaker, CA Krishna, we are going to add you some more issues on it, on these things. And remember, winners don't do different things, they do things differently. All the best, have good active participation, and all the best for the future exams. Thank you.
Thank you very much, madam, for your valuable words and sharing your experiences. Now I request Narendra Babu Garu, Vice Chairman, Vijayawada branch of SARC ICAE, to speak few words on the current topic.
Yeah, thank you, Jayant Garu. And today's chief guest of the How to Face the Examinations program, our CCM, beloved CCM of the Vijayawada branch, CA Sridhar Muppala Garu, and he is CCM and as well as Vice Chairman of the SSCB and Board of Studies Operations. And today's our another session speaker, CA Krishna Garu. He is also our Vijayawada branch first rank holder in the year, I think, 2019. Okay, I welcome to both of you, sir, in virtually. And actually, today in front of two legendary persons are there, as well as Muppala Sridhar sir is also is the manufacturer of CAs last 10 years, I think so. Okay, in front of him, if I want to speak anything, it is it is not seems to beauty, and but it is the topic is very tough topic, and the total curriculum of the CA career of the CA, how to face the CA exams is a very tough topic. But today's our chief guest and as well as the speaker will crack how to face the examinations in the easy way manner, because they are the manufacturers of the CAs. Okay, and as well as only one thing I want to share in my personal bit of experience which I have, as well as a teacher of CA profession also. Last 8 years as in the teaching profession for the CA students. Only one point I want to share here. As well as the CA curriculum, how to break it. Only 3 P's formula I am following every time. I was followed successful in the manner. One is the first P is the planning, and second P is the preparation. Third P is the presentation. Okay, 2 stages you already crossed here. 2 writing of the examinations here came here, and only third stage it is a presentation. How to presentation? Definitely you will learn. This is a 1.5 hour session. Definitely you will get the knowledge how to break, how to get into the or get out of from the examinations in easy way. How to present. Our Pranit is a well knowledgeable person, and he awarded more than 14 medals in that year. Okay, definitely without any hiding his knowledge definitely share to our friends of the future fraternity of the students, future fraternity of the profession. Okay, with this brief, thank you each and everyone for giving the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Narendra Garu, for your valuable words. Now I request CA Nitta Ravikishore Garu, Secretary of Vijayawada branch of SIRC of ICII, to have a few words about Sridhar Muppala Garu. Sir, over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Jayant Garu. Good morning, all of you. Before I say a few words about Sridhar sir, whom I admire the most in the recent times, what I want to do is I want to show you a glimpse of a picture. Let me share the screen. If the host can enable my sharing, I want the host to please enable my sharing, so that I want to display one picture on the screen, so that it might be a sort of motivation to the students now who are pursuing their examinations. Ramesh, if you can.
Yeah, you are co-host.
Yes. Friends, this is the 71st annual function of ICA, which was held at New Delhi. Right. The person in center of that visual is Pranit, who is one of the speaker for today. He is from Vijayawada, and the article's firm is also from Vijayawada. That year he has backed All India first in final examination. Now, what myself, the chairperson, Narendra, etc., are doing there? Vijayawada branch was awarded the best branch in large category for that year. So in the same awards function, we were also there. And we were very fortunate that from Vijayawada, the first rank holder took the gold medal. And also he got not one single medal. If I zoom this picture, he has got some 2 or 3 medals and 3 or 4 certificates. Right. Now this was held at New Delhi, And the award was given away by Shri C.A. Arun Singh, who is the Honorable Member of Parliament from Rajya Sabha. Right, the President, the Vice President, everyone was there. It was, believe me, my dear friends, it will be like a festival. Now, I for one want each one of you to be there in the 73rd or 74th or 75th annual award. Now, if you can zoom a bit, the person beside Narendra sir is T.S. Ramamohan Rao sir, who is the principal for Krishna Pranit. So, friends, our today's chief guest and CCM Sridhar sir is was also a rank holder in his intermediate stage of chartered accountancy. So what I thought is, I thought of sharing this and the father and the parents of Krishna Pranit also you can view here. Of course, I could not readily trace the visuals of the medal given away at that time, but I could just catch hold of that glimpse of that visual, so that I thought it will be a motivation for you, all of you, and I wish that each one of you will be at any of the annual functions which are going to be held in the coming years. So with those few words, friends, Muppala Sridhar sir, currently the Central Committee member, is an altruistic hard worker bestowed with exceptional organizational, networking, administrative and leadership skills. He has made a noteworthy contribution in whatever capacity he has served the profession of chartered accountancy. He has been a prolific speaker at national and international forums. As an orator par excellence, he has attended and contributed to numerous national and international seminars. He hails from a farmer's family, has realized that education is the biggest opportunity for him to improve his life situation, and he has secured 4th rank in the state class 12 examination and also secured all India rank in CA intermediate examinations. He is a blend of erudition, experience, foresight, technical expertise and professional excellence worth emulating. After qualifying CA, he has started his career in a practice firm and developed a practical perspective in the field of auditing, taxation, and consultancy. Exposure to practice at a very young age has helped him understand the ground reality of hardships faced by practicing chartered accountants. Further, gaining exposure in corporate world has improved his execution efficiency and helped him build and manage high-performing teams. As an entrepreneur, he has been instrumental in providing stable employment opportunities to 500 plus families across South India and successfully built an ecosystem of small and medium entrepreneurs who have witnessed substantial growth over the last decade. His continuous contribution to the profession over a span of 18 years helped him evolve as a people's leader. Received Leadership Award for Excellence in Education from the then Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh in the 2013. He has also been recognized as the Times Education Icon Award in 2017. Currently, he is serving as the Central Council member of ICA from the Southern constituency and serving in various committees of ICA. Over to you, Sridhar Garu, to take it forward.
Thank you, Ramkishore Garu, and all the team of Vijayawada branch. Let me appreciate for all the new initiatives you people have taken forward. Vijayawada branch is always inspiring, and you truly deserve that the best branch award what you people got, because for the continuous efforts and the activities what you have done. In fact, for us also it's an inspiration. That's what Narendra was sharing. CCM from Vijayawada. Thanks for owning me from Vijayawada. And first, let me go to the topic, how to face a CA exams. So there is nothing like facing. It's all about your confidence. See, generally what students undergo is, they create a lot of fear factor inside, uncertain factor inside. To put in short, there are 10 topics and we are thorough with the 9 topics. Probably that one topic we might have not learned or we are not confident. From the time we start home, go to the exam and see the paper, always one question comes to our mind, what if the 10th question comes? You feel as if the 10th only will come. So that means we are trying to fill our mind with such sort of thoughts. Now, what even if it comes, hardly it's a 10%. We are still at 90% in hand. So first thing foremost is, please erase off all sort of doubts in your mind. If you ask me, so we got an all India rank and all, but even I know many of our students who studied with us got all India rank. If you ask them while going to an exam, will you get an all India first rank? He'll never say, yes, I'll get it. Because every student is filling his mind with lot of questions. So please don't see that way at all. Because all that you need to deal is whatever is the time available, how am I utilizing that time? And in the last minute, don't try to rush on the new things. Because in a tensed mind, the inflow into the mind will be less. Because when it comes to an examination, especially any course you undertake, it's all about learning, understanding, knowledge, then go to exam. The first and the foremost aspect I say is learning. What you attend classes or virtual sessions or any other mode, the first and the foremost time when you listen any topic, it is called as the learning. Then it is all about understanding thereafter. Whatever you have learned in the class or maybe from any virtual platform, you have to convert that into an understanding. So that happens only when we have hands-on practice. Try to have a practice module on that. Try to start applying everything. So once you are thorough with learning and then convert to understanding, there comes the knowledge. Knowledge is all about, now what might have been the intention of the paper setter or a person designing this question? What is that he want to test from us? And how is that I am going to apply? What in case if this question is asked in this way? This is called the knowledge part of it. So these are the 3 aspects involved in any academics: learning, understanding, and knowledge. Once you are thorough with this, then is what the main things come: examination. See, it is not that on exam I got 40, therefore I'm very intelligent, and I got 39 as if I'm not intelligent. Examination is all about, in a limited resources, in a limited circumstances, how you present yourself. That is called as testing. I know many a student, subject-wise, they are very good, but when it comes to examination, because of the tensed approach and all, they miss out to do some good presentation there. So as a chartered accountant tomorrow, you are forced to have some time-bound approach. You are given a very short span of time, and your spontaneous thought process, your ability to recollect, everything are tested in examination. So don't see examination as one of the major milestones. See is extension of your preparation, learning, understanding, knowledge, presentation. That's it. So let's see examination only as an area where you present. That's it. That's how you need to put it. And first suggestion I would like to give to the student is erase uncertainties from your mind. I'm good at practical, I'm not good at theoretical, or I'm good at this topic, but not good at that. Don't have self-assessment, I'm saying. That self-judgment is what which will push you unnecessarily towards that negative aspect. Because all these days, you know that you have invested so much time, you understood, probably the levels of understanding may vary. All that you need to understand, what is that ICA expecting from you? First thing, foundation, they're expecting the basic knowledge. We don't want you to be a master at foundation. It's all about your basics of accounting, all the subjects given. When it comes to CA intermediate, ICA is expecting a working knowledge from you, nothing but an application aspect of the knowledge what you gain. When it comes to a final, we are seeing you as a chartered accountant once you qualify. So ICA is expecting an expert knowledge. So therefore, in expertized testing, you will have such sort of question or such sort of testing which will test your subject ability, mental ability, the time balance, everything. So don't try to think that every paper will be on the high end abnormal. Don't go with that. Please go with a positive thought, because the first success starts from positive. In a tensed mind, you tend to fail to read few questions properly, or you may arrive at a wrong conclusion. A peaceful mind will actually create an opportunity to you. So first and foremost, get the control over mind. I'll tell one common thing what a student does. Probably in a particular day, he might have studied some 6, 8 or 10 hours as the time permit. In the night, he'll go to sleep. Naturally, when we go to bed and by the time we actually sleep, there is some time gap of 10 minutes, 20 or 30. Since your mind is fully filled with exam, instead of sleeping peacefully during the time gap, you try to recollect what you have read in the day, during the day. Then you are trying to recollect, out of 10 points, probably you try to recollect 2 or 3 points. Suddenly you'll get tensed. In the same day itself, I recollected 2 or 3. What in the exam if I don't recollect this? As if you try to create your own question. No, my preparation is not good. My memory skills are less. So what if I don't clear? One more attempt I should do. You keep on increase your question. Instead of sleeping peacefully, you defer your sleep. So my dear friends, please don't think that rest all people can recollect 10 out of 10. Any common person can recollect from 3 to 5 only. Then you can ask a question. Then how in exam will recollect? The beauty of the examination is the moment you see your questions, that 8 or 10 questions, whatever you see, the remaining questions which are not asked or the topics not tested will be completely out of your mind. Now it is focused. Say if I put 100 items and give you 30 seconds and tell me what all items you recollected, probably you may tell 10, 20. If I put only 10 items in front of you and give the same 30 seconds and ask you what all you recollect, then automatically your memory skills will improvise. So don't try to have your own testing on yourself. Don't try to have an over conclusion. So whatever you have recollected, rest all candidates, including an All India ranker, also recollect the same. So treat it as a normal. Don't treat it as an abnormal. The second thing, normally whenever we read a topic, we don't try to keep quiet. We'll try to discuss with our friends. I read this, I read that and all. Naturally, what a friend will try to do, to convey that he has done a best preparation than you, he'll try to bring in some topic and discuss this is like this was tested like this and all. So immediately you will get tense. And I don't even know the topic. What if that comes? You don't do all these things. Your friend is your at tier level, on par with you. Not that he is a master. Doesn't matter even if you have read one topic more. So don't try to have a comparative part of it. So the first thing I would like to suggest is have a positive mind. Don't expect that uncertainties only will come to you. The uncertainties will come, that too only to you, that too in exam. Don't try to create that notions. Have a positive mind. Second thing, what I suggest is, while sleeping, don't try to recollect everything and try to have a self-judgment. And the third thing is, try to avoid unnecessary discussion among friends. Don't try to prove yourself that you have done better than somebody, or don't try to be misguided that somebody else has done better, he overrides you. Don't have this discussion. And when it comes to the last days of examination, instead of attempting a new thing, try to be thorough with what you are. Whatever you have read, whatever you have prepared, try to just revise. At times, you tend to have a new doubt that is coming or a grip over that. Instead of a partial presentation, whatever, say if you get a chance, all 100 marks partial presentation, 60 marks thorough presentation. In fact, both will give one and the same. So at least be ready with whatever you are prepared, you are thorough with that. That revision is required. Then the question comes, how many hours I should study and how many revisions I should do and all. Please don't, there is no standard defined approach at all. Each one have different ability, different potential, different talent. Your talent is unique, first believe. Don't see that except you, rest all world is talented. Don't see in that way. Everybody is equally talented. Everybody has their own style of doing it. Each style has its importance, and give respect for your style of preparation also. Me and my wife, we both are chartered accountant. She used to prepare even 1 minute before also going to the class. I used to stop few hours before and casually go. Both of us became a chartered accountant. So don't try to copy somebody else's style. Please give value for your own style also. And coming to the last, during that 3 hours, now spontaneousness is more important. When certain question comes which you don't know, don't get tense, leave it. Instead of seeing 10 you are missing, see the positive aspect, the remaining 90 you know. That is what is required. And with regard to the time management and presentation, start with the questions which are very thorough, which are very confident, and have some time balancing. Say for example, 3 hours exam is given. I need to get 40 to pass, and in order to achieve aggregate 50, 60 and so. So make sure that at any cost, in 1.5 hours to 2 hours time, based on your speed of writing, your preparation aspect. Within that 1.5 hours and to the maximum 2 hours, you should cross that 40 marks. So make a selection of questions. First, the moment you get a question paper, don't be in a hurry to write off the answers. First, understand what all questions are given, what topics are tested, in that which one you are very good at, and try to have a sequence of it. Then start writing. Make sure that if you're very good, 1.5 hours, if not also max 2 hours, you should complete that 40 marks. Complete 40 marks means not attempting 40 marks. Even examiner pulls off your paper at 2 hours, you are sure that you are going to get 40 marks. That means crossing that guaranteed milestone of 40 marks has to be done in that 1.5 hours to 2 hours time. Now, once you cross that milestone, I'm saying your mindset will be totally different from there, because you are very sure you are going to pass, because in no case you are going to fail. So your mind starts seeing in a much broader way and in a positive sense. From there, the last 1 hour, 15 minutes, I'm saying you'll maximize like anything. You'll run with a positive confidence. So have that interval time management also. Don't try to see 3 hours as together. Break up. First 10-15 minutes, I'll read all the questions, try to understand, try to sequence which one I'm very good at that, which one I'm average, and which one I'm below, like ABC analysis. Pick up a category. Make sure that by the time 1.5 hours to 2 hours, based on your ability, at any cost you have attempted in such a way that in the worst case of the toughest evaluation also, you will get 40. From there, now start seeing how to build and maximize. So this way of time division will really help you to achieve the best marks. And the last, at times, one examination out of the 7 might be you're not good at the subject, or might be paper was tested in a manner where you're not good at. Don't get carried away, my dear friends. As Sharin Madam was saying, your conclusion on your approach of writing and the way you get the marks, lot of surprises will be there. It happened with almost all of us who are qualified today. Certain exams we wrote and we have an assessment that we get very low and we tend to get a very good marks. And there are a few exams where we are very confident we'll get super abnormal marks, but we ended up with an average mark. So please leave that work to the valuer. You don't step into the shoes of a valuer, make an examination attempt and assess how many marks you get at all. What is that you need to do is the best performance. Thereafter duty, leave it to the examiner. Even your sixth sense is saying that you will get 30 only, believe that you will get 40 and go. I'm saying wonders will happen. Because if you don't believe, it is 100% that you won't clear. But if you believe and write, even in abnormal circumstances, there is a 1% chance that yes, in the earlier exam we'll get 40 and we'll get through. So when there is a 1% chance, it is worth of taking that risk. I'll tell you my basic example in my foundation. When I was writing foundation, though I was a state ranker in intermediate, but it was CEC, maths was not a part. So I knew that maths is not my cup of tea or I'm not that great. So during the foundation coach, I requested one maths teacher, really is my guru, who has helped me with additional tuitions also. Then I started writing. Accounts went on well because I have a good knowledge at foundation level and intermediate I got state rank. So I'm very confident. Law went on well. The third exam, maths and stats came. Now, same thing. I went into 10th. Any question I'm reading, it is appearing as if that I don't know. In that process, there were some few questions in between A bit, B bit, which are of 3 marks, 5 marks. I know very well, but because I entered into a tensed mind, I made all sort of confusion, rupture and all. Even if rupture happens, calm down, get control, start seeing. But I could not do it. So I did all sort of mistakes, what all I had to do. After coming out of exam, I took the role of evaluator. I myself started evaluating which question, how many marks and all. On the highest side also, I was not getting 30, 35. So I've decided that I'm not going to pass my maths paper. So the next one is economics, which is again, we had an intermediate and I'm very good at that. But I decided when there is no use of passing, when I can't pass the maths paper, what is the use of writing economics? So I've decided not to write, started enjoying everything. Luckily that day, my roommate uncle came for a dinner. So he was asking me how your exams are going on and all. I told, sorry, I did my best, but I'm sure I won't clear. Then he was asking what happened. I explained in maths, this has happened. So I'm not going to clear. He told, still you go and write tomorrow's exam. I told boss, I'm very sure how much I attempted. I'm sure I won't pass. So what is the use of writing? Then what he requested, okay, don't write exam. At least out of respect towards me, go to exam hall, sit 3 hours and come. That's it. So since when he asked like that, I could not say no. So I went to the exam. Naturally, after going exam, all of us know we can't sit idle. Economics being a subject which I know, I simply wrote and came. Even after that also, I decided I won't clear. My foundation results came. I don't even know the date in which it was coming because I'm sure anyway I'm going to fail via my consent. My friend has called me and told I passed. I thought he's joking. But when I went and saw, I passed with 60% mark. That maths paper which I'm worried I got exactly 40 marks. 40 marks. So therefore, don't have self-judgment. This has happened with a lot of chartered accountants. It's quite possible. Probably since it didn't happen to you, you are not believing. But for sure, it is going to happen with all of you. So the last suggestion I give is, don't take up the valuer role after your exam. If at all possible, tear off your paper. That will give you much happiness. Otherwise, every time we'll go back and test how much I'll get, what and all. That is a two disadvantage. One, you're wasting your time. The other, which is not in your control, why are we putting a time on that? So please have this. So to summarize all of this, please go with a positive thought. And second one, make sure you have a proper time management. Third, don't discuss with your friends before or after exam. Nobody is a master. Naturally, if somebody comes and asks me, sir, you are a guru, tell me. Because he claimed me as a guru, I have to sell some or the other, I'll tell and I'll confuse him. Same thing is going to happen when you discuss with your friend. And make sure that 3 hours you have to divide. First 1.5, 2 hours, you have to get that 40 marks. And the last suggestion is, even if you think a particular paper went on worst, there is a 0.001% you may get 40. Because at time when entire nation level, that particular paper went wrong or certain questions ability was less, ICA has to think on the examination part what went wrong and will stand. ICA examination will never go with the intention to fail a student, will stand to support for that. So because the paper went like that means probably paper or questions might have been like that. There can be some reconsideration or assessment about the ability. So that support will be there. And at the last, life is all about memories. Clear? Examination is also one of the journey. Carry a good memories, please. Don't get it tense. Don't start shouting at your parents. Start shouting at maintain your tempo and cool. Because this is one of the small thing in your life. This is not everything. We ourselves convert as if this is a life and death situation. Please don't see that way. This is one of the event in your life. Start enjoying that. Don't say that, no, I don't eat tiffin, my time waste. No, I don't talk to my parents, it's the time waste. Nothing like that. You need to have everything. It should appear as if that it is your normal day. So go with that context. Nothing can stop. All of you have certain specific skill in you. Please believe in that. Don't try to compare your skill with somebody or don't rate that somebody else is more. Your belief is the first and the foremost step of your success. So with this, I wish all the best to the students going for the exam. Enjoy your exam. Believe in yourself, on your ability. I'm sure you all will emerge successful and join us as the members of ICA. And I once again thank you, Vijayawada branch and the team, for giving me this opportunity. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for your detailed lecture. Actually, one thing which I want to share is, we are back to 15 years back, sir. you driven to 15 years back. We are in the same impression. So when we were students, so I initially, once you started delivering the lecture, I already gone back. I came back to present situation, sir. So thank you very much, sir, for putting out time for us in your busy schedule and sharing your experiences, suggestions to the students, which will be very, very beneficial for the students, sir, in coming over examinations. Thanks a lot, sir. To add this, I just want to share one of my experience, sir, out of which you told now, peace of mind, because I studied my CA and ICW in Vijayawada only, sir. All got clear, tap, and I went to final second group struck up. So I gave an attempt for a couple of times. It doesn't happen. Why, I don't know. So I went to job. I joined Infosys and spent 1.5 hour there, 1.5 year there. And again, I wrote, sir, with a peace of mind. One thing which you told me, I don't have pressure on my mind. I just went and wrote exams and final group 2 got cleared, sir. Later I switched to Deloitte. After that, I joined Oracle and now I'm in practice from last 7 years. But the thing which I observed, sir, there is no preparation when I got cleared my CA final examinations. The thing which I have said is peace of mind. There is no pressure on my mind that I need to clear the examination because I already am a consultant in Infosys at that time. So I just want to share that go to examination with a good peace of mind so that it will definitely help sir in presentation the paper. Sir. So thanks a lot, sir. Thanks for joining us, sir. So now I request Shyamala, our SICASA secretary. Yeah, Narendra Babu garu.
చైర్మన్ గారు ఏమైనా మాట్లాడతారా?
Nothing, sir.
సరే.
So I request Shyamala garu.
చాలా హ్యాపీగా ఉంది సార్, తెలుగులో చక్కగా తెలుగులో చెప్పుకుంటాను. చాలా హ్యాపీగా ఉంది, చాలా పూర్వ స్మృతులన్నీ గుర్తొచ్చినాయి సార్.
వచ్చేసారు.
థ్యాంక్ యూ వెరీ మచ్ సార్.
Thank you so much.
So Shyamala, please go ahead and introduce Praneeth garu.
Good afternoon, one and all. It's a great pleasure to introduce today's speaker, Krishna. He is a chartered accountant, qualified in November 2019 CA final examinations and secured All India first rank at the age of 21 years. He has cleared all the levels of CA in very first attempt. Along with CA, he did his graduation from IGNOU under distance mode. Post qualification, he has completed MCOM from IGNOU under distance mode of learning and also completed diploma in IFRS from ACCA. He did his articles from M. Rao Associates, Vijayawada. During his articleship, he involved in designing of core finance functions and internal controls of public sector undertaking, having 130 branches all over state of Andhra Pradesh. He also led the team of 5 members for statutory audit of public unit unlisted company, having a consolidated turnover of 100 crores, and which involves audit of consolidated financial statements also. He handled the assignments of due diligence with regards to takeover of a charitable trust. In addition, he also involved in statutory branch audit, stock audit, information system audit, statutory audit of unlisted public companies and tax audits. He also attended 1-month residential management development program in the month of Feb 2020, organized by ICAI, specially for rankers all over the country at Bangalore. He got placed with ONGC Limited in that special campus placements for rankers organized by ICAI. Currently, he is working with ONGC at their branch in Kakinada and looking after tax compliances along with account payables. Thank you. Over to Praneeth, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much for the introduction. A very good morning to all the dignitaries over here and all the students who are attending. So I would like to most of the topics have already been taken care of by Sridhar sir. He has taught all the topics which I was about to say. So all the mistakes where I have also done, there is nothing like rankers are good at these things. Even for my examinations also, I used to count the marks which I was able to get. After the exam was over, I used to count the marks where I will be getting, like whether I will be able to pass this subject or not. So as sir said, I'm also not sure that at the time of attending the exams itself, I'm going to get a rank, I'm going to get this first rank. For some of the exams, I also thought that I might fail in this exam, or I need to score at least 40 to 45 to get exemption, to get 200 pass mark or something like that. So there is no such thing as rankers do anything special or something like that. But we will take care of some things. I will would like to share now. Most of the things are being shared by sir already, but few quantitative aspects I will share now. So especially when you are going to attend the paper will be given to you within first 15 minutes before the start of the examination. When the exam is going to start at 2 p.m, you will be getting the paper at 1:45 itself. So it is very important to make use of those little 15 minutes where you will be provided with the paper. So as sir said, you need to make the best out of it. You need to mark the questions where you are going to answer at the first of the paper. So especially there will be 7 questions where you need to write at least 6 out of them. So you just mark them in the order of priority where you are confident enough. There might be questions which you will not be confident enough, or there are tough questions which you will not be aware of them. So you need to mark them especially. So 1, 2, 3 like that with a pencil. I used to do the same in the FR or SFM, whatever the paper might be. in the initial 15 minutes itself, I decided upon what are the first few questions I am going to touch upon, like the first 3 or 4 questions where I am going to attempt and in which manner I am to going to attempt. Like I used to mark them with a pencil so that it will boost you confident that you are like confident enough to score at least 40 to 50 marks. In the first 2 hours or 1.5 hours itself, you need to make sure that you have attempted at least 3 to 4 questions of 16 marks so that you will be in a comfortable zone that you will be definitely sure to pass that examination. So first thing first, you need to make use of the 15 minutes which were provided for the paper to the best possible. See, even in the exams which is having MCQs, you will be getting the MCQ paper at 2 o'clock only. Only question paper you will be provided with at 1:45 p.m. So you need to make use of that 15 minutes very specially, and you need to mark the questions where you are going to write. As I already said, like first impression is the best impression. So the first few questions which you are going to write, the first 1, 2, 3 are questions, you need to like present the answer in a manner that you need to get full out of full, like 16 out of 16 or 8 out of 8, so that it will create confidence for you and impression for both the valuationer and you. So make use of those first 15 minutes, start with a very good particular question and present it in a very well manner so that you will be able to score most of it in the first few questions itself. And coming to subject wise, basically there will be 2 kind of subjects. One a practical like FR, SFM, DT, IDT, and the second one is theory like law, auditing, and at my case it is information systems control and audit. So there are theoretical questions, there are practical questions. For practical questions like FR, SFM, you need to answer in a stepwise manner. Like as you are all aware that institute awards marks on a stepwise manner only. Say for example in FR, if you take the question of a business combination or consolidation, students will try to start with the balance sheet or profit and loss statement, whatever it may be, but it doesn't make any sense. You need to properly present the working notes over there. Marks will be awarded for working notes and there on the balance sheet or statement of profit and loss. So first you need to make sure that your working notes are properly addressed and answered in the answer paper. Thereafter you can go for the balance sheet. See, even though the balance sheet doesn't tally and your answer is not matching with the suggested answer, relevant marks will be awarded for the working notes. See, the thing is that you need to structure your answer in a very, very well mannered structured answer. For each and every step, you will be getting marks for each and every step. So for a 16 marks question, you will not be awarded 16 marks only for the balance sheet. You will be getting 2 marks for step 1. You will be getting 2 marks for working notes 2. Similarly, for working notes, assumptions, and there on the balance sheet. So you will be awarded in a stepwise manner. So thing you need to make sure is that you need to answer your question in a very well-mannered stepwise manner. And especially for SFM also, you need to make sure your assumptions are being properly indicated over there. All the steps are written over there. And thereafter, you need to mention your conclusion over there also. And if time permits, I will try to share my certified copies also, like few glances of certified copies where I have mentioned my assumptions, notes, working notes, everything over there. You can see that marks have been awarded in a like structured manner. 2 marks for working notes, 2 marks for relevant notes and assumptions, and 2 or 4 marks for the conclusion and the main analysis part. So as you can see, like if 8 marks is asked for a question, you can get 4 out of 4 marks for the working notes itself, and thereafter the remaining 4 for the analysis part and the conclusion part. So I will try to share those certified copies. I will try to share my screen and show you those certified copies. You can have a glance over them, how the institute awards your marks, so that you will make best out of it. And coming to theoretical papers, there are theoretical papers like law, auditing, and indirect tax, where the questions will be 2 kinds of questions. First is that straight away theory question, where you will be asked to provide the relevant provisions of the act itself, and or else you will be given a case scenario where you need to structure your answer in a case scenario manner. For that, the best approach is that you need to present your answer in the 4 steps. First thing you need to write as facts of the case, where you will be mentioning what are the relevant facts given in the question and what is the requirement of the question. Thereafter, you can mention relevant provisions of the act. What is the section of the act? What are the governing provisions of the act? There you can proceed for analysis, where you need to provide the analysis of the answer. One thing you need to make sure of here is that you need not to provide in a paragraph manner, like 4 to 5 lines of each paragraph. You need to structure your answer into point-wise manner, of maximum of 2 to 3 lines. You need to structure your answer in a point-wise manner, and at last you need to give the conclusion. So remember these things for practical questions. First, facts of the case. Second, provisions of the act. Third one, analysis of the case. And fourth one, conclusion in 1 or 2 lines. Do remember that you need to answer the question in a point-wise manner. Like around, if a question has asked been 8 marks, try to provide at least 6 to 8 points of 2-liners each. Highlight the keywords, highlight the relevant provisions of the act, and try to provide a conclusion at the end of the answer. Don't try to put the entire answer into a single paragraph or 2 paragraphs. Try to break down your answer into point-wise manner. Thereafter, you can provide the conclusion. So it will create a better picture of how you have understood the question and how you are approaching the question. It will create a greater impact for your paper and for the evaluationer also. So for law, auditing, DT and IDT, for these kind of questions, you need to break down your answer into points, and you need to break down your answer into subheads of facts of the case, analysis, and conclusion. For practical questions, you need to break down into working notes, assumptions, and conclusions. So these are the things that needs to be taken care of by both theoretical and practical papers. And as I already said, your first impression should play a key role. You need to answer the first 3 to 4 questions that you are damn sure of. Like you need to score full out of full, or at least 80% of that, so that you will be gaining a lot of confidence. I will share one practical experience of mine. So I have attempted the first exam of FR very well. So I'm confident enough that I will get an exemption or at least a pass mark. But coming to SFM, I'm not at all good at theory. So I used to avoid the theory, or I used to keep it as a choice for SFM. Especially for SFM, in the old course of syllabus, there is no much relevance for theoretical part. It will be asked for 16 marks. And I thought that I can keep it as a choice part, and I can attempt all the remaining 16 questions, all the remaining 6 questions where I have been asked for 16 marks, practical ones. But once I entered the examination, once I have been handed over with the question paper, I can see that one specific question of 16 marks, I was unable to trace it, where it has been asked for, what is the requirement. I was unable to answer it. So the ultimate choice for me is to attempt the theoretical question. So had I lose confidence at that time, I would not have scored the most of it in the SFM. At the end, I ended up scoring 79 in the SFM, thanks to the theory part also. If I lost the confidence in the initial stage itself, that after seeing the theory question, if I lost the confidence over there, I would have ended up scoring 40 or 45 or 50 marks only. But what I have done is, I have identified the questions I have known. Out of the 7 questions, 1 question is out of my scope. So I struck it off. Thereafter, remaining only 6 questions. Theory part will be last stage for me. So I have placed it at the last. So that there are remaining 5 questions where I need to attempt in the logical manner. So I'll choose at least 1 to 3 questions which I'm confident enough. So I presented them in the first order itself, and I got around full out of full marks for the first 3 questions. Thereafter, I proceeded to the things which were pretty difficult for me. But since I do develop the confidence from the first 3 questions itself, I attempted very well in the last 3 questions also, ended up getting 79. So one sincere suggestion for me is that even if you come across any one weak questions, or which you are not aware or which you are not practiced enough, you just ignore it, or you can just keep it for the end. You don't think about it for the time being. You just keep it at the end, but start attempting the first few questions which you are confident enough. Cover at least 40 marks so that you will be in the safe zone. Thereafter, you can go for the hard ones or the optional ones. So make sure you score at least 40 marks in the first 1 hour. Thereafter, proceed with the medium ones. At the end, you can put the hard ones, or things which you are not working out for you. So in the same manner, you need to take care of. And after once your examination is completed, as sir rightly pointed out, kindly ignore the question paper, or if possible, tear the question paper. Don't make the mistake of counting the expected marks. It will not make any sense. But I used to do the same. After my SFM exam, I went to home and I checked how many marks will I get, will I be able to clear the paper, and I wasted 1 hour of time, and it impacted my it has clearly impacted my preparation of the next subject also. Whenever I used to study the questions of next subject, I used to think that I will be failing in the subject of SFM, or I will be scoring at least only 40 or 41. I need to score higher in the remaining subjects. So just don't do that. Tear the question paper, don't discuss it anyone. If you are attempting the question paper, that is only for yourself. Don't discuss it any other person. Don't try to get the list of expected marks that you are going to score. Just attempt the exam with confidence and leave it over there. Don't try to calculate expected marks or something like that. And most important thing for theory questions is that you just decide on the points you are going to present. Don't unnecessarily put the points which are not relevant for the question asked. If you are going to present 8 points or 10 points, do make sure that all the points are relevant for the question asked over there. So don't do like if the question has been asked for Foreign Exchange Management Act, you don't unnecessarily put the practical provisions of the director's module or some other module. Answer your structure your answer in a well pinpointed manner and in very bullet manner, like 2 to 3 lines of each point. And there is no rule that if a question has been asked for 8 marks or 16 marks, you need to attempt for 2 papers or 3 papers. There is nothing like that. If a question has been asked for 8 marks, but the answer is like only one side of the page or 2 sides of the page, that is 100% fine. You need not to extend your answer to like 3 pages or 4 pages. Whatever is the answer, you just make sure that has been reproduced in the answer sheet. And next thing is that there is one common question asked by students, that whether do we need to answer all the subparts of the question or all the questions in a chronological order only, like 1, 2, 3, 4. I think there is no such rule. It is recommended, if you are comfortable, it is recommended to answer all the questions at one place, because it will be easy for the valuationer to do the valuation. But there is no mandatory rule to answer all such questions. You can start with any subpart of the question, any question, and go on answering any other question. You can start with question 2A, you can proceed to question 6B, you can come over to question 1A. Whatever question you decide on writing it, you just mention the question number on the top of the center of the paper, question 1A, question 1B, or question 2B, and you can proceed with your answer. And don't unnecessarily reproduce the question again over here. Don't unnecessarily copy the question asked and thereafter proceeding with the answer. Don't do that. You can straight away start with the answer itself, but do mention the question number on the center of the paper, and don't unnecessarily leave blanks in between the papers to attempt questions at a later point of time. If you wish to attempt questions at a later point of time, it will unnecessarily create a pressure on you. If you are confident enough, you just answer the questions over here itself. Don't unnecessarily leave any spaces or any blanks in the answer sheet. And some other important thing is that if the answer is like getting ended in the half of the page or 3/4 of the page, just leave the paper blank. Don't try to like start any other question in that space provided. If you are like attempting, say example question 1B, and you ended up in the half of the paper, you just leave the remaining half of the paper and proceed with the new paper for the next question you are going to attempt. Don't unnecessarily try to start the second question or next question which you are going to start at the half of the paper. You just leave that remaining half, start with a fresh paper, and mention the question number in the middle of the paper. So don't try to start a question in the half or 3/4 part of the paper. Start each and every question at the like fresh page, mention the question number at the center of the paper. And coming to like laws like direct tax laws, indirect tax laws, or corporate laws, many students ask me like, do we remember to reproduce the section numbers? Do we need to remember all those section numbers or provisions of the act? It is like, if you are good at remembering things, it is recommended to go with the provisions and the sections of the act. But if you are like me, who is not at all good at remembering these practical like section numbers or provisions, you can simply ignore it. You can mention as per the relevant provisions of the act, and you can comfortably go on with the analysis. See, if you are not good at remembering and if you mention a incorrect provision number over here, you will unnecessarily end up getting like getting a -1 for the answer you have provided. If you are not good at remembering the section number, you can easily ignore that one. You can write as per the relevant provisions of the act. But if you are good at remembering the sections, it is recommended to reproduce the same. And coming to direct tax laws, there will be few case laws which will be released for every attempt. See, institute will be releasing few case laws for each and every attempt. Try to go through them, try to remember those case laws. There will be around 10 to 12 case laws which will be released for each and every attempt. So try to remember or reproduce all those case laws along with all the past case laws. But try to remember the case law names, especially which were released for your attempt, so that it will create an impact on the valuation, that you are well aware with the amendments and the recent introductions by the institute. Do regularly visit the institute website to see whether there are any corrigendums released, any revisions or amendments released, any new materials released to the institute which are applicable to your attempt. Don't unnecessarily go to materials which are not applicable to your attempt. If there are any amendments or any relevant questions released which are applicable for your attempt, you can go through them. Make sure that you are following the correct material. especially in the last 1 week of the exams, there are only 5 days left for the exams. Don't try to switch over the materials. Stick on with the material which you have already prepared from. Don't unnecessarily try to switch on to new materials or new questions or something like that. Whatever you have prepared so far, stick on with the same thing only. And a few things I would like to share is that you need to cover revision test paper which is applicable to your attempt. Try to try to cover at least 2 or 3 suggested answers from the past exams, and try to cover at least 1 mock exam so that it will impart confidence in you. So the things you be taken care of at the last time or at the last period of your exams are at least 1 revision test paper, at least 1 mock examination, and at least 2 suggested answers. See, there is no hard and fast rule that you should cover all these things, but it is suggestion, it is a suggestion or it is a recommendation where you need to cover these things so that you will be able to get confidence over a time. If you are not having any sufficient time, if you are not confident enough, you can ignore this, but it is recommended or suggested to go over these revision test papers and mock examinations. Especially the revision test papers covers the amendments which are applicable to your attempt. So it is suggested to go through these revision test paper which is applicable to your attempt. And before leaving the exam, make sure that you have written all the questions, all the subparts. Make sure that you attempt 100 marks. Even though you're not sure of any particular question, you try to mention at least relevant provisions or relevant analysis of that question. Even for me, if you take my case, for many of the subjects like for me, SFM, IDT and law, I'm not confident enough for 100 marks. I'm confident enough for around 70 to 80 marks. But for the rest of the part, I used to write the relevant analysis or relevant provisions of the act. I ended up getting like at least half or 1/4 of the answer marks. So it will help you in your total. So don't try to leave the examination after attempting for 60 or 80 marks. Try to attempt for 100 marks, and thereafter only you need to leave the examination. And since there are MCQs introduced by Institute of Chartered Accountants of India for 4 papers, I think 4 or 5 papers, try to attempt those MCQs in the start of the exam itself. The first half an hour starting from 2 p.m. and ending at 2:30 p.m. You need to attempt all the MCQs in the first half an hour. It is highly recommended to put the first half an hour for MCQs. Some people try to put the last half an hour for the MCQs or in the middle. Don't try to put last half an hour for MCQs. It will unnecessarily create a pressure on you because you will not be able to complete the remaining 60 marks or 70 marks of the theoretical part in the last half an hour. So first in the first half an hour itself, 2 to 2:30 p.m., you try to clear all your MCQs. Thereafter, you proceed with your main exam part. It is highly recommended to do that, especially in case of direct tax laws, where you will be asked the straightaway questions where you need to create an analysis, and thereafter you can get up ending with your answer. There will be MCQs of 2 marks or 1 mark where you are asked to do a lot of analysis over there. So try to stick on to the timelines. The first half an hour itself, you need to complete your MCQs. Thereafter, you can proceed with the main part of the question, and try to tick all the questions which you have attempted. On the first sheet, you will be asked to tick what are the questions you have attempted. Out of 7 questions or 8 questions, whatever may be, what are the questions you have attempted, you need to tick over there. So don't forget to tick over there. Try to bundle all your papers together if you are taking any additional papers, and try to mention the additional papers on the top of the first paper. So do all these small things so that you will end up in getting good marks at the end. So these are the few general preparation or presentation tips you need to be aware of. To summarize everything, for practical questions, approach in a stepwise manner. For theoretical question, approach in a very structured manner of facts of the case, relevant analysis and provision, and conclusion. Try to mention conclusion or summary for each and every possible question, and try to use the first half an hour for MCQs, for question papers having MCQs part, and later 2.5 hours for the main part. Don't unnecessarily leave papers in middle of the questions. Start each and every question on a new paper. Don't forget to mention question number on the top of the center of the paper. And at the end, if you are taking any additionals, don't forget to tie two together. And these are some common tips. Don't unnecessarily strike out any questions. Even if you are if you need to strike out, just cross the paper with only 1 line. Don't unnecessarily strike out the entire thing. And first few questions which you choose, that should be of the highest priority. For that, you need to make use of the first 15 minutes especially well to structure your answer paper. So these are the few summary points which you need to take care of in the last phase of, at the time of examination or in the last phase of your preparation. And if you are having sufficient time, go through your revision test papers, mock examinations, and suggested answers. These are the only areas which you need to touch upon. Don't unnecessarily go for additional materials or additional things which will create a pressure on you. As sir rightly pointed out, don't discuss anything with your friends or something like that. They will show authority, like they have prepared from some other materials, they have prepared with everything, and it will drag down your confidence. It is not the thing you are you are lesser to anyone compared to others. Everyone has their own preparation strategy. So stick on to your things. Once the exam is completed, don't discuss those things with anyone, and don't guess the appropriate marks you are going to score. Just don't think of the exam which has already happened. Think of the exam which is going to happen. If you are feeling demoralized, have a word with your mentor or any other person who is there for you. Just have a word with them. Try to get your moral levels high. Don't think of the previous examinations. Just keep in your mind that if you are feeling it hard, everyone in the exam center is feeling it hard. Don't think that it is hard only for you. It will be hard for everyone over there. Don't think of the exams which are already over. Just think of the exams which are going to happen. So these are the few things which I would like to add apart from the presentation or preparation tips. Just few minutes before I will take up the questions which you are having. Just 10 minutes I will share the certified copies of mine. I will try to share one certified copy from practical paper, 1 or 2, and one certified copy from a theoretical paper. So you will get a better understanding how I have presented in the examinations and how I ended up getting edge over the others. So for instance, first I will try to share my screen, and I will start with the FR paper where I ended up getting 82 marks out of 100. So it is the highest marks for me compared to all other subjects. 82 for me in the FR. I will try to show what are the additional points and what are the touch points I have. It has created edge over me for the others. Just a minute. I will try to share my screen. Yep. I think my screen is visible, right?
Right, sir. You can go ahead.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thanks for coming. See, as you can see, this is my financial reporting paper, certified copy of the FR. As you can see, I have mentioned the additional sheets I have taken. See, these are not important or these won't be having any relevance, but these are the things which you need to take care of while giving the paper or handing over the paper to invigilator. You need to mention what are the additional sheets you have taken. You need to mark the questions which you have attempted out of 7. As you can see over here, third question is my choice one over here, and I have marked all the other questions which I have attempted, and I will proceed with the first question I have attempted. As I earlier said, first few questions you answer should create an impact and confidence for you. The first question I have attempted here is the business combination question, which I was able to score 16 out of 16. So it will create an impact on the valuation that this paper is looking comfortable for me, so that I can correct in an easy manner. The first question I have answered is started with question 2. I have mentioned the question number at the center of the paper, on the top of this top center of the paper. I mentioned as question 2. I have started with working notes. I have mentioned these things, very, very small things. You can see amount in rupees. You need to mention what is the currency you are mentioning, what is the zeros you are rounding off. Everything you need to mention. These are all small things you need to mention. Amount in rupees, working note 1, heading for that working note. You do not start with mentioning as working note and provide going on with your analysis. You need to mention what is that working note, what is the relevance of that working note. So you need to mention the heading, as I have mentioned, calculation of realizable value of current assets, which is appropriate for that question. So as you can see, I proceeded with working notes, working notes, working notes, working notes. So you can see here 2.5 marks have been awarded so far for these working notes. As I already said, entire 16 marks will not be awarded only for balance sheet. Marks will be broken down into stepwise manner. 2.5 marks have been awarded here. Again, 1.5 for this step, 1.5 for this step, 2.5 for this working note 10, which is like calculation of goodwill. See, I have presented 10 working notes before proceeding to the answer, and I made sure that each and everything is taken care of, like amount in rupees, and each and every working note has the subheading which explains the analysis of that working note. Before proceeding to the balance sheet itself, I got 2.5, 1.5, 1.5, and 2.5. It means around 8 or 9 marks I ended up getting before proceeding to the balance sheet itself. Thereafter, I started with the balance sheet, which I got 4.5. You can see here, I have mentioned amount in rupees again. I have provided the proper heading, balance sheet of merged entity as on so and so date. And at the end of the balance sheet, I have mentioned see accompanying notes to balance sheet. Thereafter, I have given each and every notes to balance sheet 1, 2, 3, 4. And at the end, it is very, very important to mention all your assumptions or notes which are applicable to your question, which you have taken, like the assumptions which you have kept in your mind at the time of solving the question. See, I have written some general assumptions over here. In the options of information, purchase consideration and the difference of issue of shares is taken as goodwill. And I have mentioned that issued capital is same as authorized capital. As per this schedule 3, you are required to provide a bifurcation of trade payables, MSME trade payables and other trade payables. And within that, you need to provide a bifurcation of due for more than 180 days, less than 180 days. See, these specific information is not available in the question paper. So I have mentioned that all trade payables are related or treated as other than due to MSME and are receivable within 180 days. Further, it is assumed that necessary court approvals were taken. So these are all the general points which create an impression for the valuationer that you are well aware with all other things also. In the practical approach also, you need to make your assumptions or notes clear. You need to provide your working notes and notes. Thereby I ended up getting 16 out of 16. And I proceeded with question 6A. After question 2, I didn't start with question 3. I proceeded to 6A. So there is no rule that you need to present all your answer in a chronological order. And in the question 6 also, you can see it. I scored 16 out of 16. The first 2 or 3 questions which you are going to attempt, you need to create a higher impact, bigger impact for the valuationer. I will show you a live example in this paper itself. First few questions you can see 16 out of 16 I have scored, and I have presented in a very well manner, mentioning all the relevant facts. If you can see at this end of the paper, there is one question which I was not confident enough, which has been asked for 16 marks. But I presented it in a very rough manner. I haven't mentioned any side headings. I haven't mentioned anything over here. See, I have started with, I have mentioned the question number as question 5. I have not mentioned as working notes or something like that. I have not mentioned the currency. I have not mentioned anything. I just started with calculation of profits, adjustment of profits, and I have calculated average capital or something like that. I have nowhere mentioned the currency. I have nowhere mentioned the working notes. I have nowhere mentioned the relevant notes or assumptions. But however, even for this question, I ended up getting 14 out of 16 marks. That is the impact that you will be able to create if you are answering the first few questions very well. Since I have attempted the first 1, 2, 3 questions in a very well manner, and I was able to score 16 out of 16 for each and every question in the first 3 or 4 questions, it has created an impact for the valuationer. Thus, this candidate is well versed with the provisions, so that he ended up giving 14 marks for the question, which I was not confident enough, which I have not mentioned any working notes or any currency or any assumptions or something like that. I have simply presented in a very rough manner. I proceeded with the calculations. I ended up getting the answer. But he has given 14 out of 16 because of the impact created in the first few questions. So these are the things you need to take care of. Start with the questions which you are very well aware with. And this is about the practical question paper. And I will show you one last paper in respect of theory. Yeah. I think the screen is visible for everyone. Yes. See, coming to corporate laws also. As I said, I started with some question. I have mentioned applicable provisions as the side heading. I have bifurcated my answer into point-wise. I have structured my answer in a point-wise manner. Thereafter, I proceeded to analysis of the case. In that also analysis, I have given point-wise answer. at the end I have given the conclusion for the answer. So students need to take care of these things. Even though you're bifurcating your answer into a number of sections, even within that section, you need to structure your answer into a well point-wise manner. 1, 2, 3, 4. You need not to like provide entire answer in a well like a huge paragraphs. You need to break down your answer into points like this in the facts of the case or analysis of the case. I have written that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points of each having like mostly 3 lines. Don't try to put all these things in a single paragraph. Try to break down into numerical points and try to mention the conclusion at the end of the answer, so that it will create an impact for the valuationer that this guy is very well versed with the analysis and the conclusion part. This is like for you can see for each and every question, I have break down the answer into provisions of the act, facts and analysis, and within the facts and analysis, I have structured my answer into point-wise manner. And at the end, I ended up with conclusion. And I have started each and every question on a fresh paper. I have not started in the like half or middle of the paper or at the end of the paper. I have answered each and every question on a fresh paper, and I have like presented the question number on the center of the question paper. Try to underline the important words, try to provide your answer in a structured manner, and end up with providing some conclusion which is relevant. So this is the things I want to show, or the things that I want to add upon. If you are having any queries, or if you want anything, any further things you want me to share, just have a word with me, or just provide your queries in the chat box. I will try to answer all your queries. Hope this little session of 1 hour or 1.5 hours has added some value to your preparation. See, you are in the last phase of the exams. There are only few days left for your exams before proceeding with the ultimate ones. So whatever things I teach or whatever things sir has already taught, it should add some value to your paper. So that is the main objective of the session, conducting at the peak time also. Whatever things we are teaching, that should add at least one value addition or one value addition to be done to your answer sheet in the exams, so that you will be getting edge over all other papers. So these are the things I want to like explain to you all. If you are having any questions or any things, just like drop your queries in the chat box. I will try to answer them.
Yeah, please drop your questions on the chat box, or you can just raise your hand so that you will get unmuted by the branch and you can ask your question to the sir directly.
I think I got one query here. See, when we start with one question, but in the middle we don't get it right what we want. See, there might be cases where you will be starting with question. You are thinking that you are confident enough, and ended up in the middle of the paper, you are not able to proceed with the conclusion. So what you have to do is here, you need to stop that question at that point of time. See, as I already said, marks will be awarded in a stepwise manner. Whatever you have written so far in that paper, respective marks will be awarded up to that level. So just like conclude your answer over there and proceed with the another question. Just keep it out of your mind. If you're keeping on thinking the same question in your mind, you will be able to like spoiling the rest of the questions also. If you're not able to like complete the answer, just conclude over there and proceed with the some other question, so that time also will be saved for in the exam, and you can end up getting the high marks. So if you're not confident enough in any question, you can conclude it over there. Relevant marks will be awarded for that practical analysis, right? I hope that query is resolved. And one important thing is that if you're not confident enough, don't start those kind of questions in the first few questions. Like in the first question or second question, you start with the questions that you are very, very confident enough that you will be ending up with the answer also. If you are not confident enough with the conclusion, but you are well aware with the analysis part, try to put these questions in the middle of your paper. But at the starting of your answer sheet, there should be questions which are 100% confident enough. And there is one more question, few guidelines specifically owing to these virtual classes. See, there is no specific guidelines. Even I have prepared in 2018 and 19. There is no COVID at that time. But for me also, I have taken around 4 to 6 classes in virtual mode only. I have taken direct tax class, indirect tax class, auditing, law, not law, ISCA or something like that. I have taken around 4 to 5 subjects in the virtual manner only, in pen drive classes only. So mode of taking classes is not a barrier now. I have proceeded with pen drive classes because the quality of teaching or the quality of materials provided by them are of higher standards. See, there is no thing that if you attend in the physical manner, you will be getting more, or if you attend in the virtual classes, you will be end up getting less. It is all about concentration. It is all about your dedication. There is no such thing. Even in the pre-COVID era, we used to take the virtual classes. I am the prime example for that. I have taken 4 or 5 subjects in the virtual classes. So there is no such constraint as you mentioned. It might be hard staying at the home and taking all the classes virtual mode. But if you are having your goal or objective in mind clearly that you should clear CA and you should be clearing the CA, these are all these can be sidetracked easily. Just concentrate on your output only. And there is one more question. When we conclude total 5 questions, but not sure with 1 question. So when we attempt the 6th question, which was chosen as choice by the examiner. Sorry, we conclude with total 5 questions, but not sure with 1 question. We attempt 6th question also. Which question was chosen by examiner? In the order of if you provide the first, in the order of chronological things, the first questions will be evaluated and the last ones will be kept as a choice by the valuation. The last question which you attempted at the end of the paper, that will be taken as a choice, and the first 6 questions or 7 questions you have attempted will be considered for providing the marks.
So please post if you have any other questions.
Do make sure to utilize this time if you are attempting, or if you're providing 1.5 hour your precious time for this session. You need to make sure that you use the best out of it. So if you are having any queries with respect to presentation or cares or precautions to be taken day before the exam or days before the exam or at the time of exam, if you have faced any struggles or if you have faced any struggles in the past with respect to exam, just let me know. I will try to share my experience and I will try to help you out. Try to make use the best out of it.
So you don't have any other questions, right?
Yes, sir. There are no other questions posted. I think we can conclude with the session.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your valuable time and taking out this time in a busy schedule time to us and benefiting students at large. It will be very helpful for them. You said that is correct. It's a peak time, but we also think that it's a correct time because if we take this session 1 or 2 months back, they might not be this much beneficial for the students. So this is we think it's the correct time so that the students will get benefited. So before moving into the vote of thanks session, sir, I'll take 1 minute from to update the activities of SICASA from Vijayawada branch. So all the students, we already conducted 2 series of mock tests, right? So already sir told and also Sridhar sir told about mock tests. So we see very less response in series 1, but we have seen good response in series 2. So there are 2 series of mock tests conducted by our Institute of ICAI, also our branch. So please utilize this mock test. So it will be very helpful because once you are going and playing an international match, playing in a Ranji match will definitely help you to play international match. In the same sense, you come into the branch and write mock tests so that it will be helpful for you. So other thing is we are from SICASA perspective in Vijayawada, we are handling, we are taking sessions and we are also conducting games and youth fest and other SICASA day events down the line. Please proactively come forward and participate in all the events which are conducted by SICASA Vijayawada branch. So I take this opportunity to once again thank you, sir. Thanks for your sharing your knowledge and valuable time with us. Shyamala, please go ahead with vote of thanks.
Thank you, sir. It's my privilege to propose vote of thanks speech for this wonderful session on how to face CA examinations, which is very helpful to all the students at this time to overcome the fear and attend the exam. Firstly, I would like my most sincere vote of thanks to our speakers, CA Sridhar Muppala sir and CA Guram Krishna sir, who has spent their valuable time from their busiest schedule to grace this webinar. Nextly, I would also like to mention my vote of thanks to CA Gaddam Shrita Shirin Madam, Chairperson of Vijayawada branch of ICAI, CA Narendra Babu sir, and CA Nitta Ravikishore sir, Thank you so much, sir, for cooperating this webinar and for your valuable words in this webinar. Moving on the main person behind this session, I, being the member of SICASA, would like to thank our chairperson of SICASA, CA Jayant Upluri, sir, for conducting this webinar. Thank you so much, sir, for organizing such a wonderful event. I, being the secretary of SICASA, finally thank each and every person who is attending this webinar and spending your time and make you useful this session to all the students, and all the best for your upcoming exams. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, one and all.